Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you guys who are big fans of the Machinist tool pick finds, you're going to love this episode. I've got some goodies. Alright, so I'm going to start out with a few picks from the tool store, the used tool store. I hit that yesterday. I got there early because I wanted to make sure I snagged an item that I have never seen before. Well, sort of. Let me get to that. We'll knock those out real quick and then we'll dive into this estate pick that I just picked from, this one comes to us from Mansfield, Massachusetts, about an hour away. So, what do we have? We have a Brown and Sharp case, big one, deep, and inside we have something I have never seen before, or I should say, I have seen and had, but not like this. So what's in here is the Brown and Sharp magnetic surface gauge. Some of you guys may have seen this one. This is a model 7743. And those of you who watch my channel regularly and catch all of these picks know that a while back I did get one of these. I scored one of these. Here it is right here. And it's a 7743. It's in excellent shape. And I was keeping this for myself because I did not have one. And these are really great for surface grinder work. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to keep that. Then this thing popped up, which I didn't even know existed. I've never seen one until now. It is a kit that contains the 7743 surface gauge along with an extra indicator clamp, which looks like it fits right in here where it's supposed to, and the wrench for the point and the indicator. A best test indicator, a half thou indicator, 0.0005 resolution indicator. The indicator looks brand new. I can't get over how clean this indicator is. Dovetails, face. I don't think this has ever been used. This has scratches on the bottom that clearly indicate use, and the label is a different color, which is kind of interesting. A little bit of a different, let me get these side by side so you can check it out. I don't know if that means anything as far as age goes. I actually kind of like this darker blue label, but I already sold this. As soon as I knew I was going to be getting this kit, I sold this one. So even when I saw in his weekly tool video, little commercial that he does every week, even when I saw this in the video, I was still skeptical because I thought maybe somebody had made a custom case for this. Then when I got there, I was very pleased to see that it's badged Brown and Sharp right on it, so I knew it was an original Brown and Sharp case. And here in the lid, you're going to get a kick out of this, at least I hope you are. Is it an instruction manual? Is it certification paperwork? No. Whoever bought this decided to keep the original flyer, probably from when he bought it. So this is the MagSurf set. There's you can clearly see it with the box. We can even see the little extra indicator clamp that belongs in there. And what's great is down here we get it's a little sales flyer. Now only $225. Save $80. Buy through your participating dealer. And then we've got a dealer number stamp right here. And it's Brierley Lombard and Company Incorporated, Mill and Factory Supplies of Worcester, Massachusetts. Believe it or not, this company, I believe, is still in business. I've actually been there. It's still an industrial supply, but I do not think that they are any longer a Brown and Sharp dealer. Kind of not sure, actually. Anyways, I thought that was kind of neat. And then I got my old Brown and Sharp catalog out, and sure enough, right here under dial test indicator sets, right here on the left, we've got the 599-7743, and it's the stand and the indicator as a kit. And then it goes on to say, talks about all of these. This whole paragraph is for all of these different styles. And then down at the bottom here, it says the 7743 has a permanent magnet base with on-off switch and fine adjustment. And then, this is the other surprise. Down here, it actually says that the correct part number for this is the 5997743 with no suffix on it is actually the kit that we're looking at. And that, in fact, if you want to buy the stand without the indicator, you're supposed to add a 7 to the end of that number. But everybody advertises these on eBay as 7743s because they don't, I guess they don't realize you put a 7 on there, whatever. So that's going to my private stock. And this one is on its way to, oh, I forgot where my buyer that bought this lives, but this is going on a trip. And I think he's going to be really pleased because this is in really great shape. This actually, it might even be a little bit cleaner than the one that's in there, but that's okay. Oh, it was funny when I got this home. The snug wasn't working. And the reason why it wasn't working, at first I thought maybe it was seized up. Sometimes these get stuck. But I took it all apart, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, something's not right here. And it turns out there's a washer on this side, and somebody had this apart and had put the washer on the wrong side. They had the washer on this side. And I'd like to say I was clever enough to figure that out real quickly, but the reality is this one worked perfectly fine, so I took this one apart, compared it, and that's how I realized the washer was in the wrong place. I'm sure I would have figured it out eventually. So he obviously cleaned out he obviously had a retired machinist or a machinist widow come in, or I don't know if he went to an estate or what, but all of a sudden he had all of this machinist stuff, and he's been on a kind of a dry spell for machinist stuff for a while, and all of a sudden we got in here, we've got a 579H. The box is really toast, but it is the original box. A 579H hole gauge set. And I paid $40 for this, which is not going to make me a rich man. I am going to resell this. I'll be lucky to squeeze $10 profit out of it. But the way I saw it was, got a couple other pieces here I'm going to show you, and if I can make 10, 15 bucks on each one of these items, well, I'll explain. But if I can get 10 here, 5 here, whatever, you add it all up, and it pays for my gas going out there to buy this. So here's one of the other items I got that I think is actually a better deal, and the reason why I got a better deal on it, or why he had this priced pretty cheaply, is because it's unmarked with any maker's name other than Made in USA right here. Adjustable parallel set. Now those of you guys who know, this size set in Starrett will easily run you 80 to 120 bucks used in good condition. These are in excellent condition, but again, like I said, they're completely unmarked. So the question is, who the heck makes these? It's possible that these are Fowler, or it could be somebody else, I don't know. But because they're made in USA, good quality, I think they were a good deal at $30, which is what he had on these. So, these, again, 10 or 15 bucks profit is probably what I'm going to be looking to get out of these. These two items, if I was just there buying just these, I probably would have just left them. This little Starrett level, I forgot what number this is. I had one of these before and I sold it. 25 bucks is almost all the money for this little level. I think the last one of these I had, I may have gotten like 35 or 40 for. But I looked at the bottom on this one and I noticed it was clean as a whistle. It's just unfortunate it doesn't have the original box. But he had 25 on this. And because it was the first day out, there was no way that he was going to take less for any of these prices. Here's the other one. This is a 135B pocket level. So these are kind of like all over the place price-wise. This is a genuine 135B. It appears to be almost like a satin finish on this. And apparently, from what I could see online, apparently at some point they made a nickel-plated version of this. At least that's what some people are advertising theirs as on eBay. That could be nickel plating on the ends. So anywho, this was a better deal than that last level because I got this for $10. So again, I'm probably going to make 10 bucks profit on this, maybe 15. All right, so that's all for the used tool store. All right, now on to this estate. So this came up on Facebook Marketplace, and initially it was a listing of tools, and the guy had it all laid out on a table in the photograph, and he was asking $1,000, and I guess he didn't get any offers. And then actually his son was the one who posted it for him, and then they changed the price. They dropped the price to $700, and it popped up as a new listing. If you have something that you've had listed for a while, if you drop the price, Facebook will like renew the listing, because it'll say something like, it was posted 8 hours ago. But then you'll see it'll show the old price with a line through it and the new price. So nobody's going to post something and then 8 hours later lower the price. I mean, I guess they could, but it's not like they're going to get feedback immediately and realize, oh, geez, that's too much. So anyways, it was up for $700, and I was looking at all the stuff in the picture, and he didn't do a really good job in the description, but you could tell from the photograph. I could identify several things from the photograph, but there were 3 items in gray cases that we're going to get to that I couldn't tell who made them. So I contacted the son who had the listing up, and he informed me that this was his dad's stuff and that he would put me together with Dad. So Dad and I had a phone call, and he told me who made the stuff, and I thought, okay, well, that's pretty good stuff. So I was willing to make a trip down. So I ended up heading down there 45 minutes, and I had already figured out, based on what I could see in the picture and the condition of the things, I had already figured out in my mind I didn't want to go over 400 for this lot. And what ended up happening was, while I was there, I went through it, and everything seemed okay. One item, it's got some issues, and then he added 2 small items, but in the end, he was not going to take my 4. He wanted $450, and I said, I came all the way out here. I hate to leave empty-handed. How about we split the difference, $425, and he agreed to that. So I got this for $425. So this is the first pile. I've got more stuff to show you, but let's get right into this. So one of the items that I didn't really care much about, but on second look, I actually kind of think it's kind of neat. I can't find any name on it anywhere. This is a mag base. It looks like it's been around for a while. A lot of paint missing. I think there probably might have been a sticker on this originally that covered these screws. That might have been, might have been what told you who made this thing. It's got this type of arm that it's kind of neat that, when you flip this lever, the whole thing is loosey-goosey, okay? It's got all kinds of abilities to twist and turn. And then when you flip this lever, it clamps up. Now, it still has some flex to it. It doesn't lock it positively. You can actually adjust how much locking happens by adjusting this nut up here. So it's an interesting little mag base. But I have so many mag bases, I'm probably going to end up selling this one. I think somebody's going to enjoy this more than I will. This is one of the items that I could spot in the photo that I knew was going to be a good resale item, and it's a Mitutoyo Multi-Anvil micrometer. Usually there's a sticker on the side here to give you the model number. This is the 117-107. So this is the 0 to 1 version of this type of micrometer. It's a tense micrometer. The lock works, the friction thimble works. He's just got a dowel pin that looks like it's been grounded on. What is that? Is that a broken drill bit? It's either a dowel pin that's got hit with the grinder on the end there, or it's a broken drill bit. Actually, I'll tell you that's a broken drill bit, because there's a mirror image of just the beginning of the flutes. So that's interesting. But what's nice is we've got the original wrench. We've got a little flat piece of metal here, but it's not the correct original anvil, I don't believe. The correct original anvils usually were stored like in here, and they might have even been carbide. I don't remember. I've got one of these now. I don't remember if I've got the Starrett one or if I've got the Mitutoyo one. Anywho, this is in really nice shape, so I think that'll be a nice addition for somebody. Alright, this is a pair of Mitutoyo 500-196 calipers, and that's actually what the case. I forgot. Yeah, that's what the case is for. Case is for 500-196 calipers, which I don't know if those are digital or just regular straight calipers, but what's in here is actually a pair of Brown & Sharp 599-579-4s. So the 6-inch Brown & Sharp dial calipers. And so these look like they're in great shape. Really nice. I checked them for repeatability. Everything looks great on these. So here's a 500-196. Okay, same number, but what's in here is the digital caliper. So, are these 500-196s? Yeah, that's exactly what these are. These are 500-196s. So this case here was actually for a set of these. Now, he assured me that these work perfectly fine and that he just kept the battery out while they were in storage. Well, let's just pop the battery in real quick and verify that. So let's go. So this is not a counterfeit. You could tell that right off the bat by the fact that we have the proper number of decimal places to the right of the decimal. We have 4. Looking good. All right. So the fact that you can press this button and turn it on, off makes me think that maybe these do not have an auto off feature, or maybe they do. Maybe they do go to sleep. I don't know. But he did do a good thing and keep the battery out for long-term storage. And the reason why you want to do that is because even if they're off, there is a very tiny current draw on the battery that's keeping the calipers basically in like a standby sleep mode, where the calipers are waiting for somebody to come along and hit one of these buttons for input. On the cheap Chinese calipers, the amount of current draw is actually much higher in standby mode, and it kills batteries faster. That's another way. Well, that's not really something you can easily tell unless you're going to actually do a current measurement. This little box that says Micro Super Carbide is actually just filled with contact points for indicators. Most of these look like generics. That actually looks like it might be an original one that was removed off of something. So that's kind of nice. These are always handy. Sometimes you get indicators. You know, you pick up a cheap drop indicator and it doesn't have a point on it. And, you know, oddly enough, I just said that this little one right here looks like it came off, like it's an original that came off of something. Well, the very next item I have right here is a Mitutoyo drop indicator with the Mighty Mag base on it. And I'm looking at the point that's on here, and it comes to a very sharp point, and it screams generic aftermarket. Whereas this, to me, looks like the original point that probably was on here. Next up, we've got this Fowler micrometer, 0 to 1. It's a tenths micrometer. Unfortunately, the plastic case is broken, but the micrometer itself looks to be in really great shape. It's got carbide faces that look pretty good. Yep. Carbide faces look good. The lock works. This is an interesting feature on this one. This one has the ratchet mechanism built into this part on the sleeve, which is usually where the friction part is built into on like a Starrett, or I think on the Mitutoyos too. And then this end piece, which is usually a ratchet on other manufacturers, actually must be a friction, because it can spin independently of this. And of course it's got the 10th vernier on it. So that's going to be a pretty nice micrometer for somebody. More on the budget side of things. And it looks like we're 4/10 off. So it could use just the slightest amount of calibration. This case is 505-644-50 Mitutoyo. So this should be a Mitutoyo 8-inch caliper, and it is. I haven't had many of these come through. Had plenty of 6-inch ones, and I've even had several 12-inch versions of the Mitutoyos, but not many at all of these. Nice and smooth and returning to zero. Good repeatability. Looks like they were calibrated back in 2010. That's going to be easy to sell. This is a Starrett chrome protractor. This is the C183 version of this protractor, which and I threw some other stuff in here too. So this is the satin chrome, which is what the C designates, and it's the rectangular. This part is rectangular on this version. There's another version where these corners are cut off and it's just a half circle. This is nicer in my opinion, because what you can do with this is, because you get a 90-degree angle right there, is you can, it's a little more versatile. But what's nice about that is you get the original box, which you don't see every day. We got an old Starrett 6-inch scale with the pouch. We get a 6-inch Starrett hook ruler right here. Now, how come as machinists these are referred to as scales instead of rulers? But when you put this attachment on it, everybody calls it a hook rule. Huh? Riddle me that, Batman. Alright, and we got a nice little 6-inch... Oh, hold the phone. This is cool. This is made in England. This is a Raybone Chesterman. So Raybone Chesterman is an English company. I've got, I think, one of their steel squares and maybe a couple other random items from them. But they're kind of cool because they're actually pretty decent quality stuff. Oh, I know what I've got. I've got a Raybone Chesterman straight edge, like a 36-inch straight edge. And pretty good quality stuff. And because it's more of an English company and they're more popular over in the UK, when they do come up for sale, they tend to be a lot cheaper than, say, the same thing in round and sharp. This is just a case for a last word. The last word, I think he said it broke or for whatever reason went missing. But I was glad to get this because it is a complete kit except for the last word. It's got all the pieces in here and they look brand new, and there's even the extra contact points in the little container here. So I am sure I'm going to come into possession of a cheap last word at some point and be able to turn it into more money by just putting it in this case. And we've got a 440 depth gauge. The -3 would denote that this should be a 0 to 3 inch. And we've got 1, 2, 3 rods in there. The rods haven't been monkeyed with, which is good. The original wrench is in there, and that's what we got. We got a nice depth mic. I have somebody who just was looking for, oh no, they were looking for a blade style depth micrometer. That's right. All right. Let's bring over another pile.